Transmitting from the Mojave Wilderness in Joshua Tree, California, now is the time for Desert Oracle Radio, the voice of the desert.
Night has fallen on the desert. And if you are in the Western Mojave around Joshua Tree National Park and all the way out to Kelso Depot and Las Vegas, you might already have the buckets out for any newly discovered leaks in the roof, because rain is in the forecast for the whole region, up to 80% chance of heavy rain tonight in Yucca Valley. And really getting soaked along the Mexican border. Flood watch in effect from Yuma to Lake Havasu City. Rain possible throughout the weekend. And even if you miss the deluge, cooler temperatures are forecast through Sunday, all because of Hurricane K. Not the greatest hurricane name, because it sounds like the letter K, and not what is apparently a name, K-A-Y, like okay without the O. Okay hurricane. Imagine how nuts people would go if the National Weather Service had a Hurricane Q. So the cloud cover and the rainfall will be much appreciated, with the flooding generally less appreciated. If it washes away your favorite stuff, like your house. But some relief from the heat dome, thank the gods for that. Because according to the biased media, it has been very hot in the American Southwest, a little warm out. Sort of democratic of this monster heat wave to sort of travel the northern hemisphere this summer and pick a continent to just sit on a while, like the wrestlers do on the TV. Half of America, then Europe, then Asia, then the other half of America, just kind of letting everybody know. Letting everybody know the news, which is, it's very hot. Too much of the time. Now there's a tropical cyclone getting sucked up into Southern California and Arizona and Clark County. Who knows what that'll do. We woke up to rain on Thursday, which was lovely. And down in the low desert, Palm Springs and south to Enza Borrego, might get half a year's worth of rain this weekend alone. Nobody quite knows. The forecast models are changing so quickly, it overheated the computer over in the Las Vegas NWS office. It's funny how our weather predicting abilities were fairly steady for all of human civilization. And then in the last 50 years, we got satellites and News 8 Doppler radar and instant worldwide telecommunications and flash flood alerts on our phones. But we screwed up the climate so bad that now we can't predict the weather worth a damn all over again. So I guess we gotta go back to the rhyming weather rules of the old times, the old days. Something, something, sailor take warning, sailor's delight, which I can never remember any better than the ones about the differences between venomous coral snakes and non-venomous king snakes. Because the rhymes are all stupid and horrible with a forced and clumsy meter and pointless variations of tense and singular plural, seemingly random omissions of necessary linguistic signals. So, of course, nobody remembers it right. Let's see, red touches black. Red touches black, venom lack. Red touch yellow, kill a fellow. Red touch black, safe for Jack. Red touch yellow, kills a fellow. Yellow touching red, you're dead. That should at least be you are dead. Red against yellow can kill a fellow. Safe for Jack, red touching black. The Arizona coral snake doesn't even have any yellow. Confusion, which has led to the murder of many California king snakes, as none of it makes sense. Especially the killing of a coral snake, which is of 0% concern to anybody unless they jam their pinky finger into its mouth. The only weather rhymes I can recall are the sailor rhymes, which are of no particular interest in the Mojave Desert. The Mojave Desert, home sweet home. Home, anyway. For 2 decades now. It's not even that hot out here for the first week of September. We don't get fall until Thanksgiving. So it's still hot at Halloween, oftentimes. It's still so hot at Halloween in the Mojave Desert many years that as a precaution, every year the fire department's out on that one street where kids trick-or-treat in Yucca Valley, and they're ready to hose down any child who overheats, like suffocating inside an anime prostitute costume, whatever they wear now. The few remaining kids around here. Oh, and the power goes out all the time, all summer long. It's like living in a very quiet war zone. You never know what's going on. Marine helicopters going overhead, back and forth in the middle of the night. But I notice that you rarely hear about the oppressive heat on the biased news when they're doing their feature story on Joshua Tree. So they can write off a weekend out here. I know how it is. They never complain about the heat here, 115 degrees or whatever on a bad day, but let it get 103 in Santa Monica, and oh goodness, that might get a little uncomfortable for Harry Styles. Oh, after a week of Harry Styles being constantly mentioned within some movie controversy on Twitter, I finally realized it wasn't Harry Styles at all. It was a guy who played young Captain Kirk in one of those reboot movies of Star Trek. Twitter is sort of what the newspapers used to be, but instead of just a mishmash of sports scores and stock prices and recipes and TV listings and horoscopes and the family circus and grocery store coupons and various world disasters, and a front page split between local and national political outrages of the day. Twitter also features a bunch of insane strangers screaming at you to make sure you publish an immediate response to whatever this is, this thing you just heard about for the first time 45 seconds ago. I tried to follow what was going on with the flooding in eastern Kentucky and then the flooding in Pakistan, but mostly I just found people yelling at me for not taking it seriously enough. It's like if the daily newspapers included a dumb, angry goblin that would jump out and get in your face as soon as you got past the headline. Like that goblin in that Hobbit book, which was a delightful book from about a century ago and enjoyable to read as a child. Very funny and weird. You never hear about it anymore. This heat's not good for the brain. Turns out nothing much is good for the brain in the 2020s. TV rots it, the internet turns it to jelly, the miserable climate bakes it. 90% of what we call work is deliberately designed to actually erase the human brain. This has been proven. Podcast. There's a guaranteed way to reverse years of book learning and social skills. There's online gambling, TikTok. And then Queen Elizabeth II passed away, and it was like a bat signal in the sky to make everybody go extra double dumb. There were these incels demanding that the world pray to her, especially Americans, apparently, because she was their spiritual grandmother, godmother, apparently. And then there were the usual Twitter scholars who seemed to think she invented slavery in the 1950s. Just a flood of mental diarrhea, inescapable unless you're smarter than me and never turn on the computer or the news at all. Even the BBC seemed unsure of what to do in these times. Be respectful? have a panel of tabloid writers discuss her terrible children and grandchildren. Field recordings of people crying and saying, "I don't even know why I care." Only in Ireland did they seem to sort of be enjoying it all. So listen, we've got a flood watch bulletin marked urgent from the National Weather Service, and it says immediate broadcast required, so I guess I better read it. Flow around Hurricane K will push tropical moisture into southeast California Friday and Saturday, fueling thunderstorms with heavy rain. And this part's all caps, so you gotta do this in weather radio voice. Flood watch in effect from 10 p.m. this evening through Saturday evening. Flash flooding caused by multiple rounds of excessive rainfall from 10 p.m. tonight through 12 a.m. Sunday. Impacts: excessive runoff from multiple rounds of moderate to heavy rainfall may result in flooding of rivers, creeks, streams, and other low-lying and flood-prone locations. For Las Vegas, Clark County, Southern Nye County, Mount Charleston, etc. 2 to 3 inches of rain with locally higher amounts over the Spring Mountains could result in significant runoff conditions that results in rapid flash flooding of high elevation trails and roadways. I don't know how they talk like that all the time, 24 hours a day. Additionally, lower elevation roads on the west side of the Spring Mountains, such as State Road 160 near Pahrump, could see flash flooding due to runoff. Oh, well, let's take a look at the forecast for Death Valley. Which has seen a bit of rainfall this summer. Multiple rounds of thunderstorms are possible through Saturday night, which will be capable of moderate to heavy rainfall. Rainfall totals of up to 1 inch will be possible, with some locally higher amounts possible. Many areas across Death Valley National Park have been heavily inundated with rainfall this summer, which will mean many washes will be primed for rapid runoff. And let's not forget the Morongo Basin. Highest amounts are expected in the Morongo Basin area, where 1 to 2 inches will be possible, especially for Morongo Valley, Yucca Valley, and Joshua Tree. Flooding of State Road. You know, I let State Road go on 160 because I thought maybe the person lives up in Pahrump and maybe that's what they call it in one particular area in Pahrump. But it's not State Road 62, it's State Route 62. Flooding of Highway 62 and secondary roads in the area will be the main concern overnight tonight and again Saturday afternoon. Make sure and set out your flashlights and charge your phone and whatnot, because we do get these emergency weather bulletins, especially about flash flooding, on the phones, but it doesn't work if you used up all your phone energy playing Candy Crush. Well, listen, friends, I've got some news regarding the Desert Oracle family of low-budget media operations. I quit. No, not yet. People underestimate the amount of labor involved in truly abandoning something. In our age, when Pentagon death drones hunt millennials who tried to break out of virtual reality and skip their interest-only student loan payments and maybe become a hippie in Thailand or wherever, they will hunt you down. No more running out for a pack of cigarettes and never coming back. The Apple telephone company is watching your every step. They are counting your steps. They're counting how many steps you took to how quickly it took to look away from the enormous blinking ad, and they hand it all over when the usual knock knock it's the police arrives at the compliance department. Anyway, the Desert Oracle audiobook is out now, wherever you get your audiobooks, so please enjoy it if you like that sort of thing. I know I won't use my monthly audiobook credit unless it's at least 4 hours long. The audiobook, I mean. That's my literary standard. And this one's nearly 7 hours long. I think it's a good production, even got a little seasoning from old what's-his-name, Red, Blue, Black, Silver. What else? The tour dates have been announced, and for most of these, tickets went on sale today, Friday, September 9. I guess, put these dates on the website, desertoracle.com. That's a stupid thing to say at the end of a name for the rest of our lives, isn't it? It's .com. So New York is on October 6th at the Old Village Gate, south of Washington Square. Le Poisson Rouge is called now, which translates to the red fish, but somehow it means a goldfish. Or call it LPR if you're still saying freedom fries, which is what we used to say every September 11th. I wonder if anybody else remembers this. There were these fancy wine shops, and the owners were pouring out these beautiful, expensive bottles of French wine after 9/11 to punish France, I guess, for, I don't know, I don't remember. Just pouring it out in the storm drains for patriotism, to be on the news, right? Anything to be on the news. Pour your own wine down the drain. Look at me. And then back on the western side of the continent, Oakland, October 21st, Arcata, 10/22, Portland, 10/23, Vancouver, the Canadian Vancouver, not the Portland, Vancouver, that's in Washington. Vancouver, BC, 10/26, Seattle, 10/28, Boise, 10/30, and Halloween night in Salt Lake City at Metro. For the Pacific Northwest dates, we're going to have... Well, I don't know if he's got a stage name, or maybe he's in trouble with the law somewhere, so we'll say his name next week. But we will have accompaniment on a church organ of some kind, keyboards, they call it, musical keyboards. You know, we're trying to line up the same thing for some of the other cities. So, get your tickets. I hope to see you out there. I look forward to it. look forward to it, and I also don't know how much longer I'm going to do this sort of thing. That traveling shows is fun, but it's exhausting. Then you get back and say hi to the mirror. Well, what was the point of all that? And then you're home again. There you are, scorpions in the sink drain, everything's dusty, you got laundry and dry cleaning to do, gotta get your teeth cleaned, big pile of mail you don't want to open. The check engine light is blinking. You forgot to throw out the bananas on the banana hanger thing. I keep trying to retire, but every time I show up at the retirement office, they tell me I'm ineligible because I don't even work there. Never have. From Amboy to Zizix and across the great Mojave wilderness and beyond, this is Desert Oracle Radio, broadcasting from Joshua Tree from our home station, KCDZ 107.7 FM, and on your home station if you're listening elsewhere tonight. Thanks to Red, Blue, Black, Silver for the soundscapes tonight and for all the good stuff he's done on this program these past 5 years. Red, as we call him. Do we really call him Red? Announced that he's slowing down his musical output on this project, but we are lucky to still be getting some new tracks from him now and then, and Lord knows we've got a lot in the archives, so you'll be hearing him around these parts for I don't know how long, hopefully many more shows. There's only so much one person can do, and of course he's been busier than ever with the ice follies down in Cathedral City. And I don't want to sound like Mr. Safety, but if you're driving in the dark and in training and you see water crossing the road and you can't tell how much is there, don't drive into it. You don't want to be upside down on Highway 62 in the middle of the night, unable to get out of the car. Good night from the voice of the desert.